Hey folks, welcome to the Coastal Stoic. It's been a while since I put a video together and excuse me, work and life gets in the way, but anyway, it's been bugging me, so I wanted to get out and make some videos again. I enjoyed it throughout the summer and see what happens. But welcome again here on the not a very sunny, it's kind of a rainy, windy day here on the east coast of Florida, and a couple of things have been coming up. The other day I was working out, and I get up in the mornings and I often jump on we have a rower, indoor rower, and working out. And the other day, and this memory popped up in my head from way back in the 70s, and it just struck me as being an oddly prophetic moment at that in my life at that time, not knowing that it was going to be prophetic at all. And so my mom, we lived at a very, at that point in my life, so we're late 70s, we were very, in a very modest, to put it lightly, situation. We didn't have much money at all, and I don't even know if we had cable or not, but my mom was watching TV one evening, and she was looking for news, and it was late, and it was a Saturday, and she was turning the channels. I think we just had a few channels at that time on the TV. There's no clicker, there's no remote control. She was having to change the channels, and she comes across this news show, and they were doing this counterpoint type of thing, and the male side of it is a woman and a man. She'd never seen them before. She didn't know, but it was on a NBC, I believe. So it was on a major network, so she figured they must be good. And they do their thing, and the man comes on to do his counterpoint, and he looks over at the other person and says, "Jane, you ignorant slut." And unbeknownst to her, she had tuned into Saturday Night Live, SNL. Saturday Night Live at the time has become SNL, and there's Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin, these comedians, doing a farce of a news show. And the counterpoint, there was some issue, and she would say something, and when he responds, she's being rude to him, and then he comes out with, "Jane, you ignorant slut." And my mom was appalled. Like, I'm not there at the moment. It was the next day she's telling me about this, and she's like, I turned on the TV, and who is this thing? And I was a Saturday Night Live person. I enjoyed watching it. Clearly didn't see it that evening, but she could not believe the way these people spoke to each other. They couldn't even like, what? These are news people. How is it? And she thought it was real. She turned it off. She was so offended, she turned it off. Finds out later that, of course, she was later than the news, and she had tuned into Saturday Night Live. And I got to thinking, because I look at the news here and there, and I listen to people talk, and how prophetic was that space? Like, this offensive, unkind, ad hominem type of personal attack on a person, not having to do anything with the argument itself, although they cleverly made things about the argument, and they were making social commentary for sure. However, how prophetic, and I guess pathetic in a sense, in that when I look at people in the news or on a debate stage, what happened a few years ago on the Republican debates with during the looking for the primaries, and one of the people is telling a woman that her face looks like a baseball mitt, and they're talking about each other's hand size and dealing with their dick size. I can't believe that these things are happening in a public space. That's the way we're speaking to each other. That when I listen to news media, and I listen to the people talk, and I listen to people in Congress giving speeches about us, and it's so much like a joke. Like, I think about Saturday Night Live back in the 70s making this spoof, this satirical look at something. Like, this is the time, like, people like Walter Cronkite and them who are like respected news anchors. Now, whether they're good people or bad people, I don't know, but they seemed more objective and more respectful on the screen than that. And it was funny because it was so shocking. And it's almost become a norm. So this prophetic nature of people, like, I wonder if, and I don't know if we can, maybe that genie's out of the bottle, maybe that toothpaste is out of the tube and we can't get it back in the tube. But I wonder, like, what if we just stopped being unkind? What if we just stopped being rude to each other? What if we just stopped looking at a way to insult a person to try to make ourselves feel better? What if we just stopped that? Now, I'm not talking about amongst your friends and you people you're comfortable with, whatever, but in a public space, on the news, as a politician, as a celebrity, as an influencer, for crying out loud. What if we just stopped with the insults, stopped with the unkindness, stopped with all of that, and just treated each other a little bit better? Now, I would like to see a lot better, but I'll take just a little bit better. What if we didn't speak to people for the hits or the likes or the impact? Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin were doing it for jokes, and it was funny. Now, people are doing it just to be mean and just to get other people riled up. And it works, and it's working, and I'm so sad for it. So, the prophetic moment back in the 70s where my mom was completely shocked with these people who spoke like this to each other on a newscast for of all places, it's become this norm. And I'm just asking, can we just stop? Well, that's kind of all I have right now, but it was just a funny moment, and thank you if you did turn in. If you have any comments or thoughts, please add them. I would ask respectful or thoughtful comments. A couple of people have posted things or commented that I've had to delete because they were just, again, uncalled for, but I don't know. I think we could just be a little nicer to each other, just a little bit nicer. Anyway, on this windy, soon to be rainy, stormy day in East Coast of Florida, thank you so much for listening. Hope you have a great day.